All right, in today's explainer, we are diving into a really powerful metaphor. It's one that completely reframes the debate around the Constitution. It takes it from this high-minded philosophical discussion and turns it into something much more primal. We're talking about a biological struggle for survival. And this single line, wow, it's really the core of the entire argument. See, it's not just suggesting a simple disagreement, right? It's setting up this intense primal conflict, a predator versus the very thing holding it back. Okay, so to really get this viewpoint, we have to start by meeting the predator. What is this wolf at the door exactly? Now, according to this framework, the wolf isn't, a political party or some specific ideology. No, it's something way more fundamental. Think of it as this massive, snarling creature that just represents this unending appetite for more and more control. So this is absolutely crucial to the argument. This creature, it's not something you can reason with. It's not going to adapt or evolve for the better. Nope. In this view, its nature is singular. It just consumes power. It's a constant, unchanging force, period.
And this right here, this quote really paints a picture of the strategy, doesn't it? It's not about sitting down to negotiate or finding a compromise. Not at all. According to this viewpoint, it's all a game of patience and opportunity. The wolf just waits. It waits for that one moment of weakness, for any crack in its confinement.
Okay, so if the wolf is this constant, lurking threat of unchecked power, what's our defense? Well, according to this argument, it all comes down to the cage we built. And this is a huge part of the metaphor. The Constitution, in this view, isn't some flexible guideline you can reinterpret on the fly. No way. It's a hard, physical barrier, a steel cage. Its entire purpose is to be rigid and unyielding. And the language used here is so specific, and it's intentionally stark, right? It's meant to be the exact opposite of the living document idea. The argument is basically saying that the Constitution's strength comes from the fact that it's unchanging and static. It's a fixed contract that you're not supposed to be able to alter easily. All right, so if we have this relentless wolf on one side and a solid steel cage on the other, where's the weak point? What could possibly go wrong? Well, according to this line of thinking, the cage doesn't just shatter. No, the problem is that the bars, they start to bend. Yeah, it's a natural question, right? If the cage is made of steel, how on earth does the creature get through? Well, this argument says the attack isn't what you'd expect. It's actually very specific and pretty subtle. So the creature doesn't just charge and smash the cage head-on. In this view, that'd be way too obvious, and it probably wouldn't work. Instead, the attack is much more persuasive. It's basically an assault on the meaning of the bars themselves. And this quote really sums up the whole mechanism of the attack. It's not about brute force. It's about convincing everyone that the bars, well, maybe they should be a little more flexible. Okay, so this chart really gets to the heart of the argument. The claim is that certain words are being used to hide what's really going on. So from this perspective, when you hear living document, what they're saying it really means is rewriting the contract. When you hear flexibility, they claim it means picking the lock. And when you hear talk about progress, this argument frames that as just another way to feed the creature's hunger for power. And the result of all this? Well, according to the metaphor, once the language gets twisted, the actual physical restraint of the cage starts to fail. It doesn't shatter into a million pieces. It just bends, just enough for the creature's snout to get through. And that's where the danger really starts. Okay, so we've got this pretty dire picture, right? A wolf is testing the bars. So, whose job is it to fix this? The argument wraps up by putting the power and the responsibility squarely in one specific camp. And that leads us to the final and maybe most important question in this whole thing. If the cage is failing, who's actually responsible for maintaining it? Who are the blacksmiths? Who are the guards? Well, the answer from this viewpoint is completely clear. It's the people. The logic is because they're the ones who created the cage in the first place, they are its only true owners. They're the only ones with the keys to the locks and the tools to fix it. And this viewpoint gets really specific about the tools the people have. And we're not talking about passive stuff here. The argument is a call to actively use civic power. We're talking about voting, protesting, using the courts, and even the formal amendment process. All of these are seen as ways to wrestle that creature back into its cage and fix the bars. So I guess the big takeaway here is that the cage isn't magic. In this metaphor, the Constitution isn't some self-repairing machine. It can rust, it can bend, it can break. It's survival,
its integrity, depends completely on the active, constant defense and repair from the people. And the whole argument leaves us with this one last, really provocative question. It's meant to make you think about the language we all hear every day. Next time you hear a living document, just ask, who's breathing? The people or the wolf? It's a powerful way to frame it, forcing you to ask, what's being fed and what's being contained?